In the city of Daraa, a group of young boys wrote anti-government graffiti on a school wall. The people want the fall of the regime. The authorities arrested and tortured them, sparking outrage among the people. Protests erupted, demanding their release and calling for freedom and justice. The security forces responded with bullets. The peaceful demonstrations turned into mass protests across Syria. The people chanted, "Freedom, justice," but the government labeled them as traitors. Cities like Homs, Hama, and Damascus became the heart of the revolution. Protesters filled the streets, waving the Syrian independence flag. The regime intensified its crackdown, using tanks and helicopters against unarmed civilians. Defections from the Syrian Army began. Soldiers who refused to shoot at their own people joined the rebels, forming the Free Syrian Army, FSA. The uprising transformed into an armed resistance. The regime, supported by foreign allies, launched brutal sieges. In Homs, Aleppo, and eastern Ghouta, civilians were trapped without food, medicine, or electricity. Barrel bombs rained down from helicopters. Despite the suffering, the people did not surrender. Activists used social media to show the world their struggle. Journalists and aid workers risked their lives to tell the truth. The international community condemned the violence, but action was slow. Amid the chaos, extremist groups took advantage of the war. ISIS emerged, seizing territory and committing atrocities. The revolution's goal of democracy was overshadowed by a multi-sided conflict. Foreign powers intervened. Russia supported the regime with airstrikes, while Western countries and regional allies backed different factions. The war became more complex, and civilians suffered the most. Entire cities lay in ruins. Millions of Syrians fled their homes, becoming refugees in neighboring countries and beyond. Others remained, determined to survive despite hunger and fear. The dream of a free Syria remained alive in the hearts of its people. Even in exile, Syrians continued to speak out, remembering those who lost their lives for freedom. The world watched, but the struggle was far from over.